This is probably the weirdest Subaru Impreza you never knew existed. And that's because this is a GC8 generation Subaru Impreza Gravel Express. And this is episode 1 of trying to find you the best retro car you can buy as if it's 1996.
The automotive world in the 1990s was a very different place, and automakers were working overtime to establish themselves as the leaders in different corners of the market. The modern SUV didn't exist at this point, and so two pioneers of all-wheel drive passenger cars with rally pedigree, Audi and Subaru, were busy battling it out to win over a new breed of lifestyle-orientated buyers. And cars like this Gravel Express give us a glimpse into a world that could have and probably should have been.
Hi, I'm Richard. This is my GC8 Subaru Impreza Gravel Express that I've owned for almost 11 years. It's been a love affair and a heartache at the same time for different reasons. It took me 18 months to find the car back when I bought it, I think in 2015.
So this is one of those really special cars because it's one of those cars that I've never really seen before. I've seen photographs, but I've never seen one in the flesh. And obviously in Ireland, we have a lot of JDM stuff, a lot of rally-based stuff. But again, this is the kind of car that I haven't seen there yet. And it just stood out. And at the start, I didn't know if it was a kind of a home build, if it was something that did come out of Japan in the 90s. And of course, if you know anything about Japan in the 90s, this makes a lot of sense because everything they did was just wild.
Wild, quirky. I'd never heard of one until I owned one. 18 months trying to find one, and I found one, and this is the one I found. But when I bought the car, the guy who'd got rid of the ball bars and the spare wheel, put them in the skip. I then, a few years later, sourced another whole car and took the ball bars and the spare wheel off that car, and now it's how it should be.
So this is the complete one. You had another one. What colour was the other one?
Same as this.
Same as this?
Same as this, blue and silver.
I love the two-tone colourway of this, and it is something that's very Japanese. It's something we associate a lot with, like
100%.
A86s in particular, and it looks so good and suits this a lot. And you were saying that even the colour of the top section is like the same as the WRXs?
Yep, so it's the same colour as, say, the Colin McRae era, the 95 when he won. It's the same 555 blue as that. And they did make other cars, the homage cars, they did it in the whole car in that colour.
I love my weird and quirky cars, and especially this kind of style and era. If you know the cars I own, you'll know that, well, practicality, which you've got here with the estate, four-wheel drive, which, you know, is obviously great in the snow, and even normal British or Irish conditions on the road, four-wheel drive is a brilliant, or all-wheel drive is a brilliant thing to have. And then a rally-inspired turbo engine under the bonnet. So there's a lot of parallels with the kind of cars, and it's blue, and I really like blue cars. So there's a lot of parallels with what I like, but none of my cars have bull bars.
No.
So none of my cars have bull bars, and I guess, do you know a little bit of the story about why they made this, or what the purpose was?
I think it was to go to maybe Australian market, maybe New Zealand, because there is quite a few over there. A few of my friends who have got them or had them are from Australia and New Zealand, so it could be that market. The rumours are there isn't that many of them now, because there's a discrepancy of how many were made. It's between 400 and 1400, so there's about 1,000 difference, but who knows. But I enjoy the car, so 10 years of owning it.
Look, you don't meet many owners nowadays who have cars, 10 years or longer. Everyone seems to, when they have the kind of weird and wonderful stuff, they kind of seem to, it's either you've owned it a long time, or you're one of the people who kind of get something because of the hype and then just move it on.
100%.
Clearly you love this, and this is your second one. It's the more you look around it, the more you notice how 90s this thing is, and how in an alternate universe, we'll move in front of the car a little bit so we can see the car as well. And it's one of those cars where the more you look around it, the more you realise that, like, maybe there is an alternate universe out there where SUVs never happened, and instead Subaru made stuff like this that filled the market of what an SUV does nowadays. You were saying that essentially underneath it is essentially still a WRX.
It's a WRX, so all the four-wheel drive, still got that. 300 brake-ish, and yeah, she goes when she needs to
Go
go.
as well.
Yeah.
Do you mind if we have a look under the bonnet?
Of course we can.
I know a little bit about Subaru Imprezas. I know that this is an EJ20.
Yeah, it's definitely an EJ20. I've only done a few handful of mods because I don't want to go too mad with it, because then you start having all the problems and this, that and the other, which I don't particularly want. The only thing I've really done is the dump valve and uprated certain bits like the air filter and the 90-degree pipe. Other than that, it's completely stock. Obviously, cosmetically looks different because obviously it's lowered than what it would be standard, but yeah. So.
Yeah, there's such an interesting engine to look at because they're not the prettiest. There's definitely prettier engines out there, and I think even when it comes to like a flat engine design, Porsche, especially the air-cooled Porsches with the fan, make those engines look pretty. There's not really much to look at because the heads are pointing out to the sides, and all you kind of get is essentially the ancillaries, which I suppose it's one of those engines where it's really difficult to change a spark plug, but if you need to change an alternator or change a belt, it's literally right in front of you.
It's very easy because it's right there, and it is one of those things because it is a Subaru, or if you like you say a Porsche, because they're on the side, it is harder to get to.
Yeah.
But for everything else, it is easy, like the belts, as you say.
It's also really interesting to see that, well, it's for once we actually have a functional air vent. Subaru actually did use functional air vents. I feel like nowadays when you see see air vents, they lead nowhere. It's purely aesthetic. And here it feeds right into the intercooler, which is in a very unusual position, but obviously makes sense for the fact that you've a flat engine layout as well.
Yeah, I could have gone front mount, but I think because I'm trying to keep it like a retro look, cut in, and as well as that, because of the bull bars, I probably couldn't fit a front mount intercooler on it, so I just wanted to keep it top mount.
Oh, because of the brackets going across to actually hold.
Because the actual bull bars themselves are on the front slam panel, I can't fit a front mount because you start having to cut that to pieces. So as is, it's having to stay top mount.
Look, it looks OEM, it looks genuine, and that's all that matters. So I can't give people the recommendation to have or to look for old school Subarus without the big question, and that's reliability. Because when you look at the internet, Subarus aren't really known for reliability. How's your experience been with this?
As long as you keep on top of maintenance, they're all good. That engine's been in there 9 years, and I've just kept it changing oil, changing filters, changing spark plugs, and yeah, she's been good to me. So
no big issues, none of the dreaded head gasket.
No.
Wood
I think
somewhere.
the person I bought the engine off, there was a reliable builder, so it's touch wood.
Oh, so it's already had an engine.
So when I first got it, it had a slight bottom end knock.
Yeah.
So we changed it, and then we put this engine in, and it's been in there close to almost 10 years now.
Yeah.
So as I say, it's like any car. As long as you keep it maintained, it should keep you going.
I guess that's the risk with any of these kind of cars that went through a phase of like being desirable and then kind of dropping off where nobody really cared about them. The risk, and look, the same thing happened to like 5-cylinder Audis like mine, where they got quite cheap, nobody really cared, the hype was gone. And as long as you know you're buying them off someone who did care about them,
100%.
That's all that kind of matters. That's the kind of best I guess insurance policy you can get on them, is just make sure you're buying them off someone who knows their stuff and knows how to care for cars. But
that's it.
Yeah, you just don't want one that was treated the exact same way as how cheap some of these cars became. Perfect. Does this one have forged internals, or?
I don't think so, no.
No. Fair. So treat it as if it doesn't.
No, exactly, that's it. I treat it as if it doesn't, and it's been good to me.
And I guess the other question is, do you drive it as your daily, or you said you used to?
I drove it for about 5-6 years as my daily, and I enjoyed every minute of driving it as a daily. And then I ended up then having 2 cars. I got a cheap car as a runaround, and this then got put as my second car. So I don't drive it as much, but as when I do, I love it. It always puts a big smile on my face, like it did yesterday on the way home from Dukes of London.
I could kind of tell that because of how not hesitant he was to have the shoot. It was like you just wanted an excuse to drive it.
Yeah.
No, it's a really cool car. So yeah, let's have a look around the rest of the car. Again, such an interesting engine layout, and I guess it's a shame that, well, I know modern Imprezas are still using boxer engines, but I feel like modern Imprezas have died away a little bit.
Yes.
I suppose what's your take on, as an Impreza guy, what's your take?
I'd love for Subaru to start making the Impreza again. Obviously they stopped making them a few years ago. They're still making them to a degree, but it's nothing like the heritage of what these are. So maybe, who knows? We'll see what Subaru want to do.
As an enthusiast, you obviously wish that they'd go back to
100%.
making stuff like this.
Yeah.
It is fascinating because it really makes you wonder, like, was this... I think the closest this kind of reminds me of is, what if Subaru had made something for like the Safari Rally with the big bull bar on the front. I'm like, you could tell someone that this is a homologation special for the Safari Rally back in the day, and everyone would believe you.
Yeah,
and I think
100%.
maybe that's the case for this. As you say, there's a lot of information that's kind of missing about these, because they were, correct me if I'm wrong, but they were JDM only.
Yeah.
When you see the bull bars, you're like, oh, that would have sold perfectly in New Zealand or Australia. But from what I understand, they only sold these for about 2 years because of bad sales. They expected them to sell a lot more of them.
Yeah, because of all the other cars that they were making at the same time as these.
But yeah, it's a fascinating thing, and we'll probably never see cars with bull bars again because of pedestrian safety and all of that.
Yeah.
But when you start looking around, and even though the split tone does kind of make it seem like it's all very different, that is essentially the same front bumper as a WRX, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or very similar, at least.
100%. The spats are slightly different, which is what I put on the Gravel Expresses. I've personally changed the side markers to
these ones.
USDM, so they got the little amber on them.
I think it looks really good. And it looks like, it makes this car look like it was sold new in the likes of Canada. This is the kind of a car I expect to have lived in Canada. And that's why I find it even stranger, the fact that it was literally only Japanese market. It's a shame they never exported these to those markets.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And even actually, because they never would have imported these into the US even, it's only recently now that they would have gone in the last 5 years, that they would have gone 25-year rule to even be able to be in the US, which is wild. I'm sure there might have been people who, actually, did they ever do US market estates?
Yes, so they done the Impreza Outback, which is I think a 2.2 NA Impreza, which is two-tone, has a few more silver on it, so it's got more pinstriping and what have you, but it still is the same as this WRX in the fact that it is the same car but just didn't have a turbo, unfortunately.
But did have the bull bar in the back.
No. So it didn't have the bull bar, didn't have the spare wheel.
Yeah, and didn't have a turbo. So the three most important things it was missing.
Yeah, didn't have.
I find that so mad that they never actually brought these to, anywhere outside of Japan.
Yeah.
I feel like Japan is probably the worst market for this combination of a car.
Especially being a big car, and usually they have all the little K cars because it's so tight and...
Yeah, because even looking at this technically makes it longer.
Yeah, especially at the back as well. Especially at the back.
Yeah, we'll move around the back. So you were saying it is modified slightly. So power-wise, what do you think you're putting out?
I was told 300.
Yeah.
So 300 in one of these is, for my personal use, is ample amount of horsepower. I don't really need any more. Yeah. Because I enjoy what it has. So
that's kind of what you expect as well from, a period correct Impreza. 300 was probably about what the rally cars kind of put out. Yeah, they were stripped out, and the way they delivered that power was a lot more aggressive. But that's what the rally cars put out. So like the 290, 300 mark was more than enough, especially in that era. It does look a little bit lower than what I'd expect a Gravel Express to be. You have it lowered on coilovers, I'm guessing?
Yeah, Cusco coilovers that are firm, but they stick, and it drives really nicely on them.
Yeah.
A little bit bumpy, but when it's actually cruising, it's absolutely flawless.
And then you have, what are these wheels actually? Rotas?
Yeah, they're boosts, I think.
Yeah, they suit it really well.
They look like the Subaru Impreza S204s.
Yeah.
They're similar in what they look, and so they look period correct.
No, they definitely do. And then behind that you have a set of Brembo calipers.
Yes.
Slightly bigger discs as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, need to have that stopping power as well. I just love the decals. The decals on the side of this are so good. Gravel Express, Impreza Gravel Express, high-speed four-wheel drive with turbocharged flat four. I love how they always just put all of the information on the side of the car. It was
just in case you forget what you have.
Yeah, they did. When I filmed that Subaru XT about this time last year, it was exactly the same. It was like the whole brochure was printed on the side of the car.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Just in case people like me who see these cars and are like, "Oh, that's cool. I wonder what that is." Have a full
itinerary on the side of the car.
Nowadays, I think they'd probably just put a QR code there. But yeah, back in the day, Subaru was proud of everything they did.
Yeah.
I think the Subaru XT even had it said that it was height adjustable suspension and everything on the side of it as well. But yeah, so you say that essentially these little, spin us around. So the side steps,
side skirts,
the side skirts. Are they the same sides? No, the standard Impreza wouldn't have had those side skirts.
No, they don't. I don't think many of the normal WRXs had side skirts.
Yeah.
So these are unique to the Gravel Express, and so the little spats at the front and back of the doors.
Yeah. I think they really add to it. The more you look at it, the more I really, really like the two-tone. The two-tone look in this is really, really cool. As we get around to the back, the taillights, so 1990s. Are they factory or are they your addition?
They're my addition. That someone that I know, one of my good friends, Jay, he buys and import stuff from Japan, and he said he had these lights. And I was like, I want them. I ended up getting them. I was unsure on them at first because I had the STI lights, which are the red with the clear at the bottom. And then as soon as I put them on, it suited it down to the ground. And I've had them on for about 6 to 8 months now. And I don't know if I can put the STI ones back on because I think they're so unique. I've never seen another set either.
There's such an interesting set of lights. And I feel like if it wasn't a Gravel Express, I'd be like, not sure, it's a bit tacky. But because this has so much silver, it just works. Yeah. It just really works.
Yeah.
Are they genuine Subaru lights? Were they a special edition or are they aftermarket?
I think they're an aftermarket light, but they suit this car down to the ground.
These are kind of like almost Lexus lights before Lexus lights
were a thing.
This is the kind of thing. This is the kind of thing Hella would have been doing with like Mark III Golfs and stuff.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Again, I just love all the graphics on it. I'm guessing those are the original graphics on the back.
Unfortunately, they're not. Basically, I had the car resprayed about 7 years ago now.
Yeah.
Had all the graphics redone, and they've slightly faded because the car does sit in the sun. So it is what it is. I probably can get them made up again at some point in the future.
Well, I just love how many graphics there are.
There are a lot of graphics on the car.
Just in case you forget, it's a Gravel Express. Yeah. And a full-size spare in the back then?
In the boot, yes, but not actually in the spare wheel.
Okay.
So you can open it up and put one in there.
Oh, you just have it empty at the moment?
Yes.
What size wheels would have originally been on it?
15s.
15s. So.
And the spare is a 14.
Okay. The more I look around it, the more the more I love the two-tone and how 90s this is. And then you just open it like so.
Yeah, you got to give it a big pull.
Proper pull.
Yeah, it's a proper.
Oh, 1 second. Let me change over to my right hand. I'm really.
There
we go. I don't know why, but before you opened it earlier, I didn't really expect there to be this much of a mechanism behind the actual.
They thought about it. They've properly designed it and gone through how to do it. Yeah. And then the lock in the side, the actual arm itself, it is different.
Yeah, because
it's a very unique.
Because actually, I noticed that that there's a separate lock here, just so I guess you don't open it up.
Yeah. So you can't, if you forget your keys, and you can't get in the boot.
You can't. Oh yeah. so basically, the lock on the boot itself, which is over here, is pretty much redundant. Because, well, you've got another lock there, and you can't even, you can't get at that, and B, even if you could unlock that, you can't even open the boot because of the bar for the spare wheel in the back. Madness. You have a little bit of a spoiler here.
Yeah.
Judging by the fact that it's carbon, it's not original to the car, but it does suit it. It's quite aggressive.
It's the STI version.
Yeah.
That someone that I know was selling for fairly cheap, and I put it on, and I fell in love with it. So it looks how it should, with an STI wing on it. So
what was the original STI? So, the Estates. They were kind of, was it halfway down, or no? They were down here.
It was a mid wing.
Yeah.
That stuck out quite far. I would love one on this, but because of the spare wheel, obviously it would be probably touching.
Yeah.
Because they do stick out quite far.
Yeah.
So at some point, maybe in the future, who knows?
Yeah. Oh, it's so cool. Again, just the graphics, the two-tone, everything, and of course, the roof racks as well. Have you ever had a roof box on it? I feel like a roof box is the perfect accessory to this.
No. So my other one that I had, I put the one with the tray on it, and it worked. But I do. Subaru UK sell a roof box that has Subaru on the back and Subaru on the side, but I just can't justify spending like almost £700 on just a roof box.
Yeah, fair.
Just for
a genuine Subaru roof box.
Yeah, just to have it on the car for shows.
Yeah.
Just a show box.
I mean, we all find ways to justify everything anyway, somehow in
car
the end.
guy's always it's car guy maths. Will it work? Will it won't work?
I'm sorry to be a bad influence here, but I think it would look so good with a silver roof box.
Or two-tone.
Or do it.
You know it would work. You know it would work.
You have to do it.
So good.
I suppose this is one of those points where do we get to see if other people will peer pressure you as well and put in the comments what kind of roof box you think he should.
Or Subaru UK, you can
hit
hook
him
a
up.
guy up.
Ignore the parts where he slagged all of your modern cars earlier on and give him a roof box. I suppose let's have a look inside. I completely forgot that even the Estates have pillarless doors. So
yes.
Cool. And especially, will you open the rear one there as well? Because
hold on.
Oh, is it locked?
It's locked.
It's so cool that these old Subarus are pillarless doors. I remember as a kid, my uncle had a kind of a maroon colour WRX, and I thought it was the coolest thing in the world having cars with pillarless doors.
Yep.
Maybe not the most practical, especially in a country like Ireland where it rains the whole time and seals can sometimes,
leak.
Let water in, and Japanese cars maybe don't like water as much as other cars, but it looks pretty cool, and that's all that kind of matters. And then beyond those pillarless doors, we have a really cool Recaro interior, which, to be honest with you, if you had told me that this was factory, I would have believed you. Mm-hmm. It looks really good. What's it actually out of?
It's out of a Honda Accord Type R. I did have the STI seats in there, but it was one of those whereby they're not comfortable, and I wanted something that was more comfortable, and a friend wanted to swap back to standard, so I ended up putting these back in, and they're so comfortable on long journeys.
They look so good too. There's something about an old school 90s Recaro with that kind of you know, the soft velvety feel to them. But what this also points out is the fact that you're a man who put this car on coilovers and then decided the way to get comfort back into it is to go with aftermarket or non-OEM seats.
Yes.
That's a new rationale. I've not heard that one before.
Well, they kind of did sell them because they were in the Evos, and Subaru did sell these as a confetti.
Yeah.
But if you want to buy a set of those now, you're looking at like $2,500 plus.
Fair.
So I don't have $2,500 just to spend on an interior.
Yeah.
And these are the next best thing. So,
and in terms of rails, did you make custom rails to make these work?
So the previous owner that had them, his friend is a welder, and he put them on Subaru Impreza rails.
Yeah.
So they fit, literally, we took the old ones out and put these straight back in.
Mega.
So I didn't have to mess around with this, that and the other to make them fit. So they literally just fit straight in. They sit slightly lower, but
yeah,
I don't mind that.
No, so cool. 5-speed gearbox as well?
Yes. I wouldn't mind a 6, but then you're looking at more money again. So
again, I love the old shift gator. It's like an old tractor.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and people complain about plastics in cars nowadays, and I think most people who complain about plastics in cars nowadays have not spent time with old 90s JDM cars.
Yeah.
Because 90s JDM cars are full of plastics, but for some reason we don't mind it.
No.
We have this weird fascination with old 90s. Look, I grew up in Ireland, I grew up in Limerick, and I remember taxis as I was a kid were like Toyota Carinas and stuff like that. And I always used to love the Japanese door locks when you could just push this section over and that's how you lock and unlock a door.
Yeah.
Like, what a easy way to make it work.
Simple.
Nardi steering wheel, did you
Factory.
fit that? Factory?
Factory.
Oh, did not expect that. What, 96?
Yeah.
What, did they not need airbags back in 96 in Japan?
No. So some of these do come with airbags. I think it's the later run of them. But this one doesn't. So it has no airbags, no ABS, no traction control, nothing. So when you're driving it, you can feel everything. And that is what I love about this car.
It's... What? Even no ABS?
Nope, no ABS.
Like, traction control I understand because all of my old Audis don't have traction control, but you know, you've 4 wheels that do connect with the ground, so you don't really need traction control as much.
Yeah.
And you can play with it a little bit when you're having fun. But the no ABS for 96 and no airbag for 96 is something that I never realised Japan had. I kind of thought, well...
everyone assumes that cars from that era did, but this car doesn't. So
no, it's
I've just got to be a little bit more cautious.
Yeah, look, it's an old car at the end of the day, and we all need to be cautious with old cars. One thing I do really love, and again, it's only when you spend time with these cars you see it, and it was exactly the same with the Subaru XT, was when you look here for because obviously on the right is your indicators because it's a Japanese car rather than being on the left, and everything's reversed like that. But you have essentially pass is for when you pull back and flick the headlights, and I think it's only Subaru that did that.
Probably.
That called that function a pass function. So you know, if someone's like, "Oh, don't flash your lights to try get by someone," well, Subaru's literally telling you to do it.
But it's frustrating when you go back from driving this and you go back to driving your normal car, and you go to put the indicator on and you put the wipers on. Yeah. Because everything's backwards to what you're used to.
Yeah.
So
no, it's
that's what I love. The quirky little things that like that.
I think especially anyone that's Irish that's going to follow and spends a lot of time with JDM cars knows that feeling of leaving a roundabout and all of a sudden you've your wipers on.
Yeah,
it's always leaving 100%. A roundabout. It's never gets you any other time aside from when you're trying to leave a stressful roundabout and there's someone beside you and you're like, oh, I just need to get out there. And
you forget and you put your wipe and then you're all over. Your arms and legs and everything are going everywhere.
It's all over the place. Thank God they never put a dogleg gearbox into a Japanese car because that would have completely messed with our heads.
Yeah, it'd sound good, but that would definitely mess with our heads.
What else? So, other thing then is the clocks. Rev gauge goes to what, 6.5, 7,000 RPM,
Yep.
red line. You know, it's a Boxer 4. You don't want to be pushing it too high near red line anyway, because they don't really like that.
No.
But 180 kilometers per hour clocks is something that I guess a lot of people now kind of.
That's miles per hour.
Oh, is that my?
It's not. It's been switched.
Oh, okay. So my
Not
whole
that I've
story,
ever gone that fast.
No. So my whole story that I was about to tell about how a lot of people nowadays who haven't spent much time with old JDM cars don't know that those clocks only go to 180 kilometers an hour, and why that whole reason was, well, you've completely defeated that purpose.
I didn't know you were going to say that, so yeah, it's one of those.
Swap them back.
I'll try. I'll go back to wherever they done it.
No, it's. I've actually never seen miles per hour clocks in an old Subaru before.
Yeah.
Now that you say it, I feel like every time I stick my head into an old Subaru, it's always kilometers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it makes it a lot easier driving
Oh
around
yeah,
here.
100%. And it's so accurate.
Yeah.
It is more or less spot on. It obviously when you're doing about 20 mile an hour, the clock
Jumps a little bit.
And there's not even jumps. It doesn't go because obviously it sits slightly above zero anyway.
Yeah.
But as soon as you're up at 30, 40 mile an hour plus, it's
Dead
literally dead on.
Yeah. That's handy if you were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Right, I'm going to sit in for a second. What else do we have here? So, manual heater controls. Love that. Love the old feel of old Japanese cars, and there's a bit of play in that.
I probably need to get it tightened up a little bit, but
you're definitely stirring soup at this one. But again, I think all four-wheel drive cars of this, or all-wheel drive cars of this era, were like that.
Yeah.
I think it was just something that came with all-wheel drive gearboxes, was the fact that like they're just not very, precise. It's the exact same if you're in like a Sapphire Cosworth, a four-wheel drive Sapphire Cosworth, in an old Audi Quattro, in like a lot of those kind of cars. It's just like you put it into gear, the gear is somewhere there. It's yes, gear, yes. I now understand how you managed to almost take off in third.
yeah.
It's obviously a 90s car, so of course you have a big ashtray. It's a nice place to be, and it's a retro place to be. If you're looking for luxury and modern luxuries, a lot of 90s cars don't have that. Japanese cars of that era, they kind of just did their job, and they did them well, and that's kind of why we love them. Yeah. Does this have any kind of fun things like the toll holder or toll card, even when you got it?
It's got where the the flare is meant to be.
Yeah.
It's on the passenger to the door side.
Yeah.
There's a little clasp that it's meant to sit in.
Okay.
And I've been wanting to buy one just so that I can clip it in there so it's literally period correct.
So that you have the flare.
So I just have the flare just in case I ever need it. But
This is the thing about JDM guys. They just,
yeah,
it's all of the weirdness.
The weird and wonderful stuff that they've done.
If it's not weird, they don't like it.
No.
And then of course, good old Pioneer head unit. A bit more of a modern one.
Modern one, but
Yeah.
I'd love to try and find a period correct one.
One of the ones with the dolphins.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we all need. The one with the dolphins.
100%.
Yeah, this is so cool. Yeah, I love this. Actually, I'll show what the seats in the back look like so that you can see what the material of the front seats would have been like. But yeah, I really like this. I feel like if I wasn't into old Audis, my next best thing probably would have been old school Subarus. And I was telling Richard a story about a couple of years ago when I really wanted to buy a Blob-Eye WRX from Northern Ireland, but the cost of like VRTing that and importing it into Ireland was as much as the car itself, and I couldn't insure it because I was only 21, 22, so I bought my Coupe Quattro instead. And yeah, if I wasn't into old Audis, I think the Subaru thing would probably be it. It's the mixture of the all-wheel drive, the practicality, the fact that they're, we're so synonymous with the 90s, but also then you have the practicality of the state and the kind of rally-esque or rally-inspired sound, which this has quite a lot of, and a lot of character. But yeah, let's show those back seats. And this is what the material would have looked like for the front seat. I love this. What do you call this material? It's not confetti.
It's kind of, I don't know. It's one of those,
It's just Subaru.
It's just Subaru.
I feel like if you showed anyone
Larry cross pattern that they done back in the 90s.
They just love that.
Which I think everyone at the same time was doing, because if you look at, like, say, old Toyota, like Starlets, for instance, that I can think of off the top of my head, they had some crazy seats.
And even Mitsubishi Evos, a lot of Evos had the same kind of seats. Again, I think maybe that's what we need to bring back. We need to bring back cool designs of cloth seats. Everyone nowadays just wants bog standard leather. Like, why do you want leather? Just cool, interesting. I've
always prefer a cloth.
Yeah.
So you don't sit down and burn your back when it's hot, or then when it's cold you're gonna be freezing your ass off because it's cold.
I've always said
you've got heated seats.
I've always said it. Like, for me, I have leather in quite a few of my cars, but I've always said that, like, leather isn't the luxury thing people think it is. Leather was kind of just something that, especially in, like, the days where people had chauffeurs and stuff like that, it was for taxis, because it was easy to clean, or the driver in front got, the driver in front got leather because, well, they didn't really care about their luxury, but the important people in the back always got either cloth or velour or something like that, or something weird like lamb's wool or something. Leather isn't the luxury people think it is, and I think we need to get back to having cool, interesting interiors like this, because
100%.
We're living in a very, uncreative world. Yeah. When you remember that stuff like this existed.
Every car is grey.
Yeah.
Or the same, grey or black or white.
Just go two-tone.
Yeah. Two-tone's the best.
Two-tone's
the best way to go. I'm currently trying to find a Subaru Samba in Japan, and they do one that is two-tone, and I'm so tempted.
Samba's the little bus, is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
The little K car.
Yeah.
I'm really wanting to get one.
Yeah.
It's trying to get one over here, so
yeah,
we'll see.
No, this is cool. I suppose we've probably been talking for more than half an hour at this point, so we probably should let you guys hear it, and then finish up this video. Richard, massive thank you for having me check this out.
That's cool. That's good.
This is such a random Monday. We bumped into each other yesterday. There's been a couple of months now where I've felt a little bit uninspired. There's certain cars I've been filming and I'm like, don't know why I was filming that. And then I saw this and I was like, I need to film this, because this is exactly what I love, this 90s weirdness. And hopefully over the next couple of months I'll start building out this series where I show you guys cars from this era that you may not have seen before, but should probably consider, because there's something special about this. And even if not everyone at your Cars and Coffee or wherever you bring your cars gets it, it's one of those cars you can really fall in love with and get a lot of attention for. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you as always in the next video. Cheers, take care, bye-bye, and a massive thank you to Richard as well.
Thank you. Take care.
And we'll see you in Ireland.
Hopefully.
Yeah, we'll see you in Ireland at some point with this, yeah?
I'll try and bring it over. Yeah. It'll be a bit of a fuel thing, but she's a little bit thirsty. But no, I want to definitely bring it over to Ireland in the not too distant future.